The White Privilege Conference, or WPC, is an annual gathering of thousands of private and public educators, students, and school administrators from across the country. Participants examine and confront what they see as systemic race-based privilege in America. In our first installment of this report, we examined the conference's keynote addresses to gain a broader understanding of the ideological foundations of white privilege theory.
White supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding.
And right now, I'm going to suggest to you that race is driving almost everything that's happening in the country.
All right, folks, welcome to Gimme 5. This is part 1. Next hour, we'll do part 2 of this white supremacy, white privilege conference in Wisconsin. Sit back, let the video tell the story.
With this ideological underpinning in mind, educators and students spend 3 days immersed in various workshops that explore more deeply the finer details of white privilege theory. Let's take a closer look now at some of these workshops. In this workshop, Professor Adrienne Wing describes the basics of critical race theory, explaining how it is central to the white privilege ideology.
Where critical race theory helps us is it says, okay, it's not, you can't just look at the face. Clarence Thomas is on the Supreme Court. Does he really replace Thurgood Marshall? He's an embarrassment and a disgrace to the memory of Thurgood Marshall. And if I met Clarence Thomas, I'd call him that to his face. That's because I have something called tenure.
Tenure. See, in their world, if you're black but you don't think like a black should, you don't count. Here's more from the wonderful Adrienne, whatever her name is, Adrienne Wing.
Does having a black president change that? Has it changed that? Unfortunately, it hasn't, is it? He ends up being the front man for the system. So instead of just saying, oh, we're happy there's a black face in the White House, who's running the White House instead of just serving in the White House, it's like, no, the master's house is now got a black face, but it's still the master's house. He works for the master of the system of white privilege.
Ah, there you go. How come you didn't know that? Have you ever seen a bigger bunch of racists in your life? And this is the White Privilege Conference, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, they talk about the fact at this conference that we're a Christian nation, and if you're not Christian, boy, are you in trouble. But there are some Jews, I guess because they're so smart, who have figured out how to get around that and fit in. Watch.
So there's certainly a lot of Jews who, not a lot, but there are some Jews who have been successful and assimilated up there. And of course, some African Americans. We can think of Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell and people like that. So it's a Christian culture, it's a Christian framework, and some people can make it if they become like the white Christian men who are running things.
Right. So there are some Jews, not a lot, who have managed to, you know, figure this out and assimilate and kind of act Christian, I guess. Whew. Now, what would a good white privilege conference be without bashing the Tea Party? Oh, don't think they forgot about the Tea Party, ladies and gentlemen. Watch.
There has been a study, a longitudinal study, that finds the longer you are in the Tea Party, the more racist you become.
At one point in his presentation, Zeskin went off topic to talk about racist white people in gated communities.
And then there's just the white folks who get little white zones and put a gate in front of it, and they call it a gated community. Now that's incoherent, but it's the same damn thing. And they put their kids in little white academies. And that's a mass phenomenon beyond all these things.
Yeah. All right, folks, if you think you've heard something, if you're shocked or whatever, again, as Barack Obama likes to say, you ain't seen nothing yet. Next hour, this time, Gimme 5 will present part 2. And if you're going to be standing up, I advise you to sit down. If you're already going to be sitting down, you might want to grab a pillow. We're coming back on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.